parenting is generating a lot of buzz out there right now, along with concern in communities across the country. It's being coined lawnmower parenting, so kind of similar to helicopter parenting. I talked to the experts about the consequences that this behavior can have on children of all ages. First, there was helicopter parenting. Now there's a newer trend with a new term. Unlike helicopter parents who hover, lawnmower parents go to great lengths to mow down obstacles for their children. Things like struggle, failure, or challenges. The idea is often just to make things easier for the child, to clear the way. But the grass isn't always greener that way.
You're stealing something from them. You are also, in many ways, removing your child's skill building in their own development in multiple ways, and the consequences are like a cascading effect as they get older.
Melissa Ruth is a licensed counselor here in the Treasure Valley. She says lawnmower parenting isn't necessarily a new concept, but now there's a term for it. And she says its effects have been becoming more evident in the last couple of generations.
I see it every day.
What she sees looks a little different in every child who's a product of lawnmower parents, but in extreme cases, kids can end up not knowing how to do things for themselves.
They can't get out the door on their own. They can't feed themselves without somebody doing it for them. They can't get out of bed without somebody doing it for them.
And even though it's the parents' behavior that's being highlighted, it's the children who then also deal with the long-term consequences, which are usually more harmful than helpful.
The child is the one that grows up and really has to learn some very tough lessons in their mid to late 20s, 30s, 40s, and beyond.
Oftentimes, experts say they see this parenting style give way to children or adults with a sense of dependence or entitlement, qualities that they say can lead to challenges both at school and in the workplace.
The complaints that I've heard from employers is entitlement, laziness. They feel entitled to be doing their own thing on their time at work. They feel like this show should be run the way I want it to be run. They feel they have a very hard time with sort of like rigid rules and practices and policies and structures because they've been able to kind of have somebody wiggle them out of those kinds of things.
Perhaps worse, counselors say that lawnmower parenting often leads to things like low self-esteem, depression, and alienation in children, young adults, and adults alike.
How is this going to play out over several generations? It's going to be interesting to see, and not in a good way, interesting.
If this sounds familiar to you or anyone else that you know, that's because it's becoming pervasive in society. There's a fine line between helping your children and hindering them. And experts say recognizing and changing that hindering behavior has to happen little by little. Start from the ground up.
Choose something that you can improve and improve on it. And do it with love. And even let your child know, like, hey, I've been doing this. And some of this is not helpful to you. Maybe in the short time it feels better for both of us, but it's not teaching you some character, some grit, and I'm going to try to do better with that.
This cleanup, though, you can think of it as the yard work, will fall in the hands of both parents and children. But experts say they are hopeful that our society can start to mow down this trend, however long it might take.